Hi guys, welcome to Short Tooth Channel episode whatever it is, I can't remember anymore. Yes, I'm back. I've been away for about a week or so, but I am back and I am ready with a new movie review video. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I seem to have got quite a few since my Comic Con video went up, since my Daniel Harris intro went up, which was fucking sweet, and since Chris Blue very kindly did a shout out for me on his channel. So welcome to all new subscribers. I'm going to get straight into it as always. Coming at you from a different location today. I've done a bit of a move around in my room because I'm trying to sort my DVDs out. I'm trying to sort the layout of my room out a bit at the moment, and I need to get a stand for these DVDs, but it's taken a little while. So they're all just positioned on the wall at the back at the moment. One day I'm going to do like a collection video. I've got some more up there and over the side. They're all a bit all over the place at the moment, but I will do a review video of my review collection soon. But amidst my tiredness, because I am very tired, because I've been at a festival for the past few days, so I'm a little bit knackered as well, and my hair's doing some weird crazy stuff today for some weird reason. Let's try and sort that out a bit. It's looking a bit nuts. It's looking a bit nuts. Anyway, let's do this review. So straight into it. The very first film that I'm going to do, and this is a bit of a hard film to pick in the first instance, because if I'm not feeling entirely with it and a little bit tired, then this is going to be a hard one to review. But sorry if you can hear that noise. That's my neighbour's been blasting music out today. If that gets too much, apologies. I won't know until the video's done, but apologies. Anyway, first film that I'm going to review is something that was called Womb in America, and it's been called Clone for its UK release. This is it. You may have seen it in Sainsbury's because they've got a big push on it at the moment because it stars Matt Smith of Doctor Who fame. And this is how they are going to present this particular film to the UK audience, as a very much a Matt Smith vehicle, a Doctor Who vehicle, with a tagline at the top. Matt Smith brings the eccentricity of his Doctor Who character to the screen, to whet your appetites. It's also got a sticky on the front just to remind you that Matt Smith was in Doctor Who, and it's the official selection, one of the films that was officially chosen for the Sci-Fi London Film Festival not so long ago. Well, a year ago, so quite long ago. Anyway, so it stars Matt Smith and Eva Green, and the story is thus. It's set in an undisclosed place in England, somewhere on the coast. It begins, very beautiful film overall, I must say. Not so much dialogue. The dialogue could be on about 15 pages, even though the film runs at almost 2 hours. Essentially, it begins with a young boy and a young girl meeting on the coast of England, and I mean, they must be about 11 or 12, but there is this very undisclosed sexual tension, really, between a couple of minors, which is a bit controversial in itself. However, fucking hell, that's annoying me, so I'm going to keep it down now. That fucking music's really annoying me as well. Sorry, distraction, no good. Back to it. On the coast of England, and they form some sort of friendship anyway. They experience a few weeks together and they sleep over at each other's house, and there is this very obvious connection there, but then she has to leave for Tokyo, I believe it is, and he says that he'll meet her at the dock the next morning, but he doesn't, and she goes off alone and she disappears for 15 years. 15 years later she returns to the island, and one of the first things that she does, now fully grown woman Eva Green, is to go looking for her once childhood romance. Names I cannot actually remember. I shall say names because it makes it easier. Rebecca is Eva Green and Thomas is Matt Smith. She goes looking for Thomas. She finds Thomas. Thomas is now, as the blurb says, a very eccentric, very earth child type boy. He lives on the coast, a little bit scatty, a little bit Doctor Who, just trotting out the same old thing. But if you like that, fine. Anyway, they form a relationship again, they sleep together, and they are about to go on this trip together, and bang, he dies. He is killed. He's run over by a car. And long story short, she goes to an experimental centre whereby they can clone people. Well, they've been trying it with animals, but they are now going to attempt to clone people. And long story short, the clone is going to be inside her womb. The original title of the film, Womb, is going to be inside her womb, and she's going to give birth to Thomas again. But not again, so she's going to give birth, so he lives again, but he has to become the adult. He's going to come out as a child, and he's going to have to grow, take him 20, 25 years, however long, to become that grown adult again, the one that she loved, the one she was so sexually attracted to. Therefore, we then have about an hour and a half of film, whereby you have this very peculiar, very strange relationship between Eva Green, an aging woman, and a prepubescent boy, and the expected love and sexual attraction that she's going to have to him when she is older. Now, it is quite tough going. This is not a film to just stick on if you're just looking for some mindless entertainment. This requires a bit of concentration and a keen eye as well, because it's quite a beautiful film. It's quite a well thought out film, but it is a ponderous film. It does take its time, which could be one of its shortcomings. I know a lot of things that are said about indie movies as a criticism, particularly art house indie movies, is that they think that long prolonged silences make a good film. In this case, I think the silences are needed. It definitely draws attention to certain aspects of the story as it goes, but it really ratchets up and it gets very fucking interesting, particularly when Thomas's real original mother turns up. Tension is ratcheted up quite a bit, and we deal with these whole issues of Eva Green's character waiting for her son to get older. Then he gets older, and then she doesn't do anything. She's just dealing with him, dealing with him having aged, and he gets a girlfriend. It makes some very complex issues, some very massive mindfuckery going on. Anyway, it's a good film. I can't give you too much more away on that. You really have to see it. It is a good film. It's an enjoyable film. I did like it. I like these films that push boundaries, and it certainly pushed boundaries. By way of a recommendation, if you have seen Birth, that film with, I believe it's Nicole Kidman, and the boy who says that he is her dead husband reincarnated, and there was that controversial scene with them in the bath together. This gets a lot more controversial than that, believe me. Who else but the Europeans to do that? Anyway, I would suggest that you check this film out. It is very good. As a rating out of 10, I'm probably going to give it a 7. If I did do halves, I would do 7.5. But I did enjoy it. It was good. So check it out. Yes, I'll move swiftly on because I know that I'm getting into that habit of rambling again. Right, now, next film. This came as a recommendation to me from Media World 01. I reviewed the film not so long ago called Triangle, about deja vu and a woman caught in this sort of spiral circular motion of having to deal with weird shit happening a lot. And he recommended that I check out a film called Time Crimes. And here it is, Time Crimes. I believe it is a Spanish film. Yes, it is. Now, this is Triangle only a million times better. Amazingly well made, really thoughtful, clever scripts, and an interesting twist on the deja vu time traveling theory. So basically, this film is about a man called Hector, who lives out in like the countryside by the woods with his wife. He comes back from shopping one day, and he receives a mysterious phone call. He then goes out and sits on his front lawn, and he's looking for his binoculars, and he sees a girl in the forest who's sort of touching herself, and then he sees the same girl a little bit later on who's actually dead in the forest, and then he gets chased by this gentleman with this kind of salt with the sack on his head, and he is stabbed with the scissors, and everything goes a bit fucking nuts, and Hector goes running. He's like, I don't know what's going on, what the fuck's happening. It's very real. Hector's like 50 years old. It feels like a very real film, and he runs to this complex where this man tells him, well, basically says, the man in the sack is coming for you, hide in this sort of chamber, liquid chamber. And the guy's like, what is that? And he says, just get in there, he won't look for you in there, I'll pull the cover down, get in there. So Hector gets in there, and there begins our story. Hector goes back in time to the moment where Hector first returned from shopping to the house, before he looked through the binoculars, before he received the phone call. And Hector realizes that he is now caught in these different levels of time traveling loops, whereby his existence only lasts up until the point of Hector's existence, original Hector's existence. There's many Hectors to be had, there's much time traveling to be done in it, and it's particularly well thought out, very crafty, very stylishly done. It's hard to say too much more about it, but it's very riveting, and even though you know, much in the same way as Triangle, what things have to be done and by who, in order for equilibrium to be established with regards to not messing with time travel, things don't exactly work out. It's a brilliant film. It's a very scary film at times, and it is extremely well acted. The director actually plays the scientist who is in charge of the time traveling machine, if that's what you want to call it, within the film. Look, guys, you must get this film. I heartily recommend it. Media World 01, Andrew, thank you very much for that. That is a great call, mate. I really enjoyed that film. This one's going to get an 8 out of 10 for me. I'll just drop it a couple of points just because it's because of the fact that Light Triangle, you knew based on his next journeys that he would need to take when he does time travel, there's certain things he would need to do. So they didn't come as too much of a surprise. But still, the way they were done was well done, and it was very good. Time Crimes, everyone. Check it out. Very, very good. I hear they're remaking this. What arseholes? Fuck it. Forget it. Just leave it alone. Leave fucking remakes alone. Right. Couple more films here now that I'm going to do for you. Now, the first one is still got the pre-owned sticker on it, which is a bit crap because I don't like that sort of thing. Looks like I can't get it off. Oh well. Anyway, here we go. Now, the next film, Blu-ray, and it is called, even though it's got a sticker on the front of it, The Firm. Now, this The Firm is not the Gary Oldman The Firm of BBC TV series from 15-20 years ago, very much acclaimed, which I haven't seen for my sins. I haven't seen apologetically. I'm sure it's brilliant, and I'm sure it's better than this film. But this is Nick Love's film. Nick Love, the British director of Football Factory, The Business, he is now taken to remaking The Firm, or reimagining The Firm. That whole thing of remake, reimagining. This is reimagining The Firm. So basically, this is a story about football hooligans. This is a story about. Can you believe that I cannot remember what team these guys support? I think it's Tottenham. I can't remember what side they support, and that's part and parcel of the film because it's very much about the football hooliganism and not the football at all. Basically, this guy who is called Bex. This guy. Bex. He is an estate agent who is an ultra-violent thug most of the time when he goes out for football. He starts fights with other firms and he goes and arranges fights with other firms. And the story very much follows this young boy, Dom, who is an impressionable young lad who falls in with the wrong crowd and becomes part of this whole firm. Much violence to be had, pumping soundtrack to be had, and a great story overall. I can't compare it to the original Firm because I haven't seen it, so I'm pretty sure that it owes much to the original, and that the original is very good in itself. But this film was very good, but what it does is it doesn't focus on the football at all. You never see a football match. You never hear them really talking about football at all. They just talk about violence and fighting, and that's something a critique of these firms themselves, I suppose, because what you're talking about here is guys that are up for rucks and violence and fights. They don't give a shit about football. They don't care about the sport. They just want to hurt other people. It's a pride thing. It's what machismo is, how to be a man, or the indictment of how to be a man. Anyway, it's set in the 80s as well, so it's very much about masculinity. Then you've got rival opposing paternal figures for young Dom, like, so you've got Bex, who's the tough nut, the hard man. Then you've got Dom's dad, who just works on a building site. He's like a builder. He's quite tubby. He ain't got a lot of money, but he's a nice guy. Good film, great film, really enjoyed it, although I do feel like it's more the same from Nick Love. He seems to be a bit of a one-trick pony, and some of the dialogue was a bit annoying after a while. I know they were trying to capture like how people talked in the 80s or what have you, like Cockney rhyming slang, but it got very annoying, very tiresome after a while. Anyway, I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy it, so I'm going to be giving this one a 7 out of 10. It was good. If you like it, oh, by the way, the recommendation for Time Crimes is Triangle, obviously. For this one, if you like it, go and check out the original Firm, or go and check out Football Factory, or Green Street perhaps as well. Green Street would be a good call on that. So that was the Firm. Last one, guys. Now this film, very, very personal film to me, because I met the lead actor from it at Comic Con in Milton Keynes last year. And it's Mr. Robert Englund of Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street fame. And when I was talking to him, he mentioned that he'd been working on a film called Incubus, and it has taken me over a year to get my hands on this film, Incubus. This is a horror film, of course, a B-movie starring Robert Englund as this impish devil called Incubus, and William Forsythe is also in the movie. Very simply put, the film takes place pretty much over one night. There is a police station which is has brought in a young boy who has been accused of decapitating his girlfriend. And they're questioning him for a while, and you've got all the local police in there. It's a quiet night at the station, and they're questioning him and accusing him, when all of a sudden Mr. Robert England, or Incubus, walks in a suit holding the decapitated head, and with a big smile on his face, and he's ready to play an evening of games with all at the police station. And an evening of games he does indeed play. The whole night then takes on this nightmarish turn whereby he becomes people and plays with people's thoughts and heads and fears, brings retired cop William Forsythe out of retirement. Now this is a shit B movie. It is a shit B movie, but it's great for many different levels. It's great for its shitness, in its writing and in its acting, by everyone else apart from Robert Englund. Robert Englund still manages to trot out fantastic performances. He's great as Incubus. He's scary. He is. He's got a whole new blade. He hasn't got the Freddy fingers anymore. He's got this real steampunk blade there. I don't know if you can see it up the top there. That's sorry. That is actually connected to his wrist, to his hand, and he fires that fucking blade out and cuts people up a storm. He's great. It's funny. Particularly good, if you get a chance to watch this, is a scene where he's being questioned by one police officer while all the others have left the room, on his name, his address, what he does. Robert Englund's just great. He's really good, puts in a great performance. However, it's not exactly a great film. This is a horror lover's film. If you love Nightmare on Elm Street, if you love Robert Englund, if you love horror, then give it a check out. Give it a whirl. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, obviously, because I can't rate it much higher than that. But it is good, it is enjoyable, and he is very impish and elf-like. Funnily enough, if I had to give a recommendation for this one, I would give Dead End, a film I talked about not too long ago either. It was like a film directed by some French brothers. But anyway, hard to get a recommendation for this, because it's kind of like a B movie, whatnot. But just seek out other Robert Englund films, you know what I mean. Incubus was great, Robert Englund was great, I enjoyed it. It was good late night watching anyway, so check it out if you get a chance. Guys, that's it from me. I shall see you all very, very soon. Of course, we have The Dark Knight Rises coming out very soon also, so my review for that will be up imminently as soon as I've seen it. Guys, thank you for watching. New subscribers, I hope you're not disappointed. If you are, apologies, stick with me. The next video will be good. It won't. It'll be more of the same and mixing it up a bit. So, guys, thank you all once again. See you soon. Bye-bye.